And the idea is that we lose our family stories, something our grandparents told us, something our dad told us, something that we did when we were young, and you die twice. First, you die, and you get put away. The second time you die was when the last person that knew you passes away. You're gone. I stood at the graves marker of William Thomas Fussell, my grandpa's dad. I don't know what he looked like. I don't know a single story about him. I don't know anything except he was buried in this Baptist church cemetery north of Kirkland, Georgia. In the row behind him is buried his dad, Timothy Fussell. Beyond a birth date and a death date, nothing. One day, for Mother's Day, I decided to give my mother a special treat. And I wrote as many as I could think of, things that I could remember when I was a little boy. I wrote about the scary man up in the attic. What it was, there was a closet in our house, and there was a closet. And up here, the cover for the opening to the attic, they had cut out what looked like a piece of a big billboard. And it was a man's face. At 4 and 5 years old, that man up there was not something I really wanted to get familiar with. One time I got real sick, and I had to sleep with my sister, who was 4 years older than me. And all night, there was an apparition. I could say a ghost, but there was a white thing sitting on top of a dresser all night long. I know I must have slept, but through the night, I would look and it'd be all scary. I'd look, it'd be all scary. The next morning, it was the white teddy bear that she had taken off of her bed and put it up there. But at 4 years old, it was the booger. A game I used to play was to jump up, because the clothesline was just high enough I couldn't really reach it, but the clothespins were hanging. Run up and spin them. So if you jump up real high, you could spin them. And I'd jump and spin, and then I learned how to jump on one foot and spin it, and then jump on the next foot and spin it. As I came off of that foot and went to this one, I had realized that my foot had landed in the wrapped up snake. I kept moving. Sure. And I started screaming. Now, of all the things I can remember about my mama, I do know that she knows how to use a hoe. And that snake did not make it. Now, was it poisonous? Not poisonous? Was it actually a rattlesnake, which my little boy mind says? It's possible. One day, in my backyard, the circus came to town. In Jacksonville's Cassett Avenue, Lenox Avenue, Edgewood Avenue. Gigantic open field. My playground was that field. Interstate 10 had not been built yet. I had a little hole I had dug where I could hide in it, look up, pretend like the Indians were coming. I looked up. There were trucks coming. They filled up the field. I watched and I watched. I was wondering if I could get closer. Would they notice me? Would I get in trouble? Would somebody be mad at me if I got closer? Next thing you know, they unloaded elephants. They unloaded horses. They unloaded zebras. They pulled out these giant things to spread them all out on the ground. They hitched these harnesses to the elephants and pulled up giant tents. Guys with sledgehammers were beating giant stakes in the ground. Oh, I was having fun watching this excitement. Over here was these other carts with lions and tigers in them. I'm 5 years old now. This is exciting. The circus opened. My house right here. I go out and play in my field like I always play. And I thought maybe I'd go see what everybody was doing. All those ladies were dressed so pretty in those little outfits to ride on the back of the horses. And these other guys were pretending and throwing, and they were doing things with little balls that I couldn't even imagine doing. And I got closer to the tent. And it was real windy that day. I got closer to the tent. The wind blew up the little side of the tent. I got to see inside. Oh, wow. There are all kind of people. So I got a little closer to the flap. The flap blew up. The flap flew behind me. I'm inside. I'm looking all around. There's people up there. And they're flying. They're on giant swings. And they're flying back and forth. And they're catching each other. They are having a big time. Oh, it's exciting. This clown saw me. He started towards me. Now, I don't have fear of clowns. So that thing about people being scared of clowns, that wasn't my point. I wasn't supposed to be there. Was my point. Oh my gosh, I turned around and ran for home. Never told anybody. My neighbor, she took me with her son, Angelo, and took us to the circus the next day, and I got to go see all that stuff for real. I was reading these to Mama. I'm reading all these stories. I told her about walking through the bushes through the man's yard across the road from us, and how scared I was to go buy that Coke for Granny because we didn't drink Cokes. She stopped me. She goes, David, you were scared all the time as a little boy growing up. I said, Mama, everything was happening to me for the first time. And you got to hear the story of that first time. The first time through those bushes. The first time buying that coat. The first time getting caught at the circus. You got to hear the stories of those first times. Of Uncle Chuck pulling his thumb off. And not being able to figure out how he got the damn thing back on. Wanting to take me to the bathroom to show me how you could use one piece of toilet paper. Uncle Chuck, I was a little boy, but you ain't gonna do that. When I had staples in my head from getting cracked. And going to my uncle's house, who decided, now I've been to doctors, I've been to nurses and people. They hug you, they stroke you, they give you orange juice and you take a nap. They do all this really cool stuff. Uncle L.E. decided that he was going to help me get those staples out because it was about time for them to come out. I was doing okay. And this was part of a story that I could tell you a lot more of, but the point is, sometimes little boys cry. Grown-ups do not know why they're crying. It might be because that little boy got in trouble and you knew it was your fault. But they think you're kind of going to split your head open. It might be because you fell off of a mule and in fact you lost the hat. This time everybody knew why I was crying. Uncle Ellie reached over there into his toolbox and he got those pair of needle nose pliers and came towards me, and there wasn't anybody in the house that did not know why I was crying that day. So sometimes we really do things for just the first time in our lives. Thank you very much.